So maybe a very short introduction, Thierry.
Yes, so good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Thierry Friant. I'm working in Nestle CPW. So you probably know the group. And CPW is a joint venture between General Mills and Nestle, and we are manufacturing breakfast cereals. And I am in charge for this group of continuous improvement, operational excellence, and also digital.
Cool. Lior.
Hi everyone, my name is Lior. I'm co-founder and CEO at Seebo. In Seebo, we provide an AI-based software solution to manufacturers to predict and prevent losses in yield and quality. Using our solution, manufacturing teams can basically answer two questions. The first one is, why do process-driven losses happen using automated root cause analysis? And the second question is, when are these losses likely to happen next using predictive analytics? We're not selling a predictive maintenance solution. We are not selling a technological platform which requires many R&D resources to turn into business value. The other way around, we provide a solution to specific business problems.
So Thierry, maybe you can share with the audience how the relationship started, what you're trying to gain from working with a startup. You're Nestle.
Yeah, good question. In fact, this is a journey that started last year. So we started to define a bit from a Nestle CPU standpoint, our vision in terms of digitalization and defining our main business cases. And of course, in many manufacturing industries, we are having losses in our process. And losses is money, okay? It's cost. So we want to eliminate this cost from our value chain. And in fact, we have a Polish factory based in Poland, manufacturing breakfast cereal bars that is, I would say, shipped in many parts of the world. And the ingredients used for these bars are quite expensive. And despite the fact that they are at a very high end in terms of continuous excellence, so it's a very highly performing factories, there are some difficulties to still find the root causes of some of the losses issues. And they started to look around, okay, what could be the technologies to help us to go to the next level? So they investigated, and they came quickly to Seebo, in fact, and it was under my radar. I was not informed about that. But then they started a POC, a proof of concept, and they realized the value of it, or the potential. And then this is where I would say the love story started, and we started also to integrate this solution as part of our portfolio of digitalization initiatives. Start also to share with Nestle. I'm working part of the Nestle Council, so we start to publicize a little bit because there are many opportunities, especially when you touch ingredients, process control. This is where we see a lot of potential in terms of profit and loss.
Can you maybe elaborate a bit more about what is the value that Nestle gained from working with Seebo?
I think from the value is first, this company was able to help us to understand and to, I would say, fine-tune our business case. They are the experts in terms of artificial intelligence, machine learning. We are not. But we know we have a pain point. So they came to us with a lot of honesty, exposing their solutions. We tried it, and then they prove it works. So it started this way. And as I mentioned, I'm part of the global council in terms of Industry 4.0 Nestle. And as such, we also, as a business representative, explain or report what are our good success stories. And this is how it started. So now I know that some business units in Nestle are getting in touch with Seebo.
Great. Lior, it looks like you had quite a journey with these guys from Nestle. I think that one thing you did take is the food in your office. By the way, if anyone near their office at lunchtime, I recommend you all to stop.
Very good point.
It's really one unique experience. Besides that, what is the key lesson that you learned besides nutrition from your journey with Nestle?
We've learned that many medium and large manufacturers lose significant amounts of money when it comes to quality and yield losses. And manufacturers who will not adopt AI on time, we believe will gradually become less relevant in the markets. On the other way around, manufacturers like Nestle, who adopts AI early, are likely to gain a strategic advantage over competition. We've also learned that there are three important things that are needed when deploying AI on production lines. We need the right data, we need support from the team, and we need support from the management. And in Nestle, that's exactly what we see. Mm-hmm. We have great collaboration with both the teams in the factories as well as the teams in the corporate level. And it's actually quite exciting to work with the largest food manufacturer in the world. They think very big. It's not about reducing losses in a single production line. It's about reducing losses in all production lines. And they see this huge landscape of potential technological solutions and the different business needs, and yet they approach it in a very clear and a very effective way. Actually, when speaking with Thierry on their plans to the next years, I'm amazed both of how complicated it is and still how clear it is when Thierry is speaking about it. So it's very exciting to work with this team.
Thierry, what are your key lessons from working with Lior and his team?
But I think first you need to have a clear business case and to wonder, okay, why do you do that? And you know, we are a food industry, and the consumers are the one coming on top. And how to delight consumers is to provide and manufacture good products. And then if you go back to the value chain, that as mentioned, the losses and the quality is something which is essential to meet. And you know, meeting and working with Seebo team is also a kind of a high opening on potential opportunities, because they know what we don't know. We don't want to become the experts that having data scientists, and this is what we like also in the solution, because they come with their knowledge, their brains, a model, and then also we need to bring all the data. But in the end, it makes our life much easier, and this is where we see the potential. And the key success factors and the KPIs, in fact, there will be financials. There will be also consumer happy, and it's not a hobby. This is something that we take seriously. That's why we have engaged a good relationship today, and we continue.
Lior, maybe another question about the culture, because again, you're for a very, I think, very strong culture in your company, which is a startup, working with, again, the biggest company in this domain. How do you do this transition?
Surprisingly, at least the Swiss culture is closer to what I imagined to the Israeli one. But we see that eventually the technology is not the issue. The issue, as Thierry mentioned, is financial, and the issue is the consumer. And I see how critical it is for Nestle to satisfy the end consumer. And when deploying new technology, we realized that it must be turned into business value. It must be turned into action. And it means that the relationship between the AI and the users, between the artificial intelligence and the human intelligence, the relationship is critical. And it must be based on trust. If users do not trust the AI, they will not take action. And therefore, for us, it's very critical on a daily basis to verify we establish that trust. And it means that our algorithms must be accurate, our algorithms must be actionable, and we need to maintain a very strong relationship between the user and the system.
I think that when I'm sitting in a panel with Nestle, I have to ask you about your appetite, right? So tell me how the interaction with Seebo got to the appetite of Nestle of working with such companies around AI, around Israel maybe.
The appetite, you mean?
Yeah.
So what is the appetite?
How eager are you to work more with Seebo and other startups here in Israel?
Yeah,
And what was the thing that you saw in Seebo that really sparked it?
Yes, well, it's a good question. If you, of course, a big company like Nestle working with startups, you can think that there might be some risks. But in fact, not, because you realize that they are providing something that you don't have, and you take probably many years to get. So they are coming with some good solutions we can exploit right away. So the return investment that won't be in 10 years, it will be tomorrow. This is also why we think that we need to engage with startups, because also these people, they are engineers, so they are ahead, a step ahead. We don't have an organization in Nestle or CPW with brands to look after new technologies. Yes, for the food industry, yes, we have a research center, but not in Industry 4.0. So we need to rely on you. And obviously in Israel, there are a lot of startups, well-known startups, and since long, there is a strong history of good startups. That's why, frankly, we went with Seebo without any doubts. We are anxious, and yesterday, in fact, we got the confirmation that one of our big plants in the UK is starting now the implementation as well, which there is a lot of potential. So, yeah.
No, nothing. No. It's a good news. Come on. I think that's the all time we have for today. Okay. But I think that you can learn a lot, because I had the pleasure to talk with some of your employees, your customers. I think doing something amazing, And we're very happy that you got Nestle here to Israel to enjoy the Israeli innovation.
Happy to be back to testimony. Yeah. Why not?
Another announcement. You happy to be back, yeah? Thank you
you
very
for
much,
having me.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.